Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the 0 to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we are going to be going over what we've actually been doing for the week, basically. Now, for obvious reasons, today's video is going to be a bit different than most of the others that I usually put out, mainly due to the fact that I am super tired today, and I haven't had much time in order to do that much. So, that being the case, I thought it would be a good idea on what I am planning on doing in the future and some of the stuff I've actually been working on. Now, throughout this last week I've been working some super late shifts and pretty much haven't had much time at all to do much. So, gold farming for this week has been a bit slow, so I'm not going to go over all of that. Basically, Vortex Pinnacle is a good farm. What, however, I have been working on is something along the lines of I've been working on another subsidiary add-on. So this one would be something that would be kind of helpful. Now I will be doing like a full guide on it once it's actually done. Okay, so there is one add-on that has actually sparked my interest this week when it comes to like sorting out all of my stuff. Usually my minimap's very clustered. So I actually downloaded Minimap Button Bag, and it actually turned it into all my minimap buttons are in one section. So now I don't have a clustered minimap and I can just click what I want. That's really super helpful because at the moment obviously I make a lot of stuff and I always build like a minimap button just for it because pretty much just simplicity's sake, it's just easy to just go click and it just works. So that's another reason why I do that. But what I have been working on this week is sorting out some of the mistakes which are in the spreadsheet. There was one for the Whiptail one under the optimization of Vial of the Sands. A few Reddit posters have actually commented on that, and I will be posting a new sheet along with that to just adjust it. If you haven't already adjusted it, then I would suggest you would, but other than that, if you wanted to have another look at it, another sheet will be coming out very soon. And thanks to one of my Discord subs, which I'll be going over in the video depicting this, and pretty much a Discord sub called Grendel has actually automated it through the TSM database, which means for your server, if you have TSM, will price match it to your server so you don't have to input everything like I did, and he was showing me how to do that for future spreadsheets, which I thought was really helpful, and I'll go more in depth with that throughout the week. Now, aside from that, the other thing I've been working on is obviously default minimap button icon, and that is always the golden dragon. I always go with that, but it will change of course. And we click on this, and I've made a notepad. This week, when it came for like any form of development or anything, I've been working on making a notepad basically. Pretty much I'll do a full run through of the guide on how to use it and all that stuff, because there's some other little nits and features which are inside of it. I know it looks kind of bland, but that's the entire point of it. Basically, when it comes towards like WorthIt and development of WorthIt, I find myself that I take a lot longer to learn a load of the stuff when it comes to the Lua programming language, which is the one that you're using to create your add-ons. For those of you who don't know how to make an add-on, you're primarily going to be using Lua to actually program your own add-ons. Now, I will be wanting to do a guide on how to make a basic add-on as and when, but that'll be something in the future, so to speak. But what I was actually considering was to get better at this. So I've chosen a project which was a notepad, and what I've decided to do is learn more, basically. Take up a little small project which I can make, change and do loads of random jazz to, and then I can test that out, and if I learn anything new I can then add that into WorthIt. So one thing that is from this project that's going to be making it into WorthIt is if I press the escape key, yes, the actual frame disappears. So that isn't really that hard to do. I looked it up and implemented it into the notepad, and now that's going to be turned into WorthIt. Having like some subsidiary add-ons in order to like develop and play around with gives me a little bit more freedom in order to learn a bit more about the Lua programming language, and also that means that I'm more capable on what I want to add into WorthIt. And obviously Callan does a lot of the heavy lifting because he's more well versed with that programming language, and therefore well, for lack of a better word, I feel bad that he does a lot of the heavy lifting. So my idea is to get more fluent with it, with Lua, as I would with like myself with like JavaScript. I want to get better at Lua. So that was my target for this week, is to make a little add-on, start working with it, start learning all the stuff I don't know and going over all that, and then I can then somewhat help with the heavy lifting when it comes to WorthIt, is the overall goal with that. So one little function that I would like to show you right now is reload UI. Yes, you can press run and you can run scripts within the notepad. I thought I'd add that in because it'd be really handy. Well, it's handy for me, so hopefully it'll be handy for you. Basically, this notepad add-on is primarily made to aid myself, and if anyone wants to use it, they can, once it's finished, of course. But aside from that, there will be a few more features going into that going in the future. Now, going into the next thing of news for the week is Shadowlands actually got its release date, which is the 27th of October, and by Jove, I've actually booked off 3 weeks and 3 days from work. Yes, I've used pretty much all of my holiday in order to take that time off of work, and then I can play Shadowlands and keep you guys updated as and when. That was the entire intention since January 1st. Find out the release date, then immediately book off the time, which I now have immediately done that. So all systems go towards Shadowlands. I'm mainly focused on sorting myself out for Shadowlands, which brings us into our next thing for the week. And what I have been working on is, if we go into Trade Skill Master and we go into my TSM setup. So obviously we got our base groups and all that stuff. I've actually decided to make one specifically for Shadowlands, and it's broken down into 3 main groups, which are crafting, farming, flipping, which I've been slowly building up as and when adding different things in, which obviously from the other day, Smeltomatic is right there, Mutomatic for transmutations, Boltomatic, of course. I have a thing for Omatic, mainly because it just sounds cool. And that one's for bolts, for cloth. And when it comes to farming, all of the materials, and even I've added the groups already pre-done and the operations already attached to it for Shadowlands stuff. That means that as soon as those items are gathered by me, my idea is immediately add them to the group and all the operations are set. So I don't have to think about it. I can spend more time farming instead of playing around with my TSMs. So that is something I am doing right now, is just setting up my TSM for Shadowlands. And obviously I'll be giving this, I'll be giving the majority of all of this stuff away as and when Shadowlands is released, because for obvious reasons I like helping. So if this is any form of help, then I would. And I've also broken down into crafting, which we have mounts. So mounts broken down between the different professions, like Cataclysm, Vial of the Sands, under Alchemy, Blacksmithing, obviously Steelbound Harness, Engineering, blah 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 blah, and all of the others for mounts. The other subsidiary groups are Alchemy, Blacksmithing, Engineering, and all that. So if we close down mounts, professions. I've been working slowly on professions and adding loads of stuff in. Obviously I've only done a few bits here and there. Tailoring, however, I've actually got bags already set up. But the idea with tailoring is I only wanted to have the groups with the bags that I know will sell, so that I have a decent sell rate, because it's pointless me making a bag that just hardly ever sells. Like one of them had like a 0.01 for sell rate, and I was like, yeah, I'm really not going to spend that much time doing those bags because that takes a long time to craft loads of them, and overall I don't see that being a good use of my time. So overall I'll be making those types of bags in the future, and adding loads of other stuff towards tailoring. Inscription, I've already set up all of the glyphs, every single glyph in the game, and their crafting and all that stuff, along with some of the tomes, and I'm just slowly going through it, trying to make no mistakes at all. That hence why it's taking quite a while for me to set them up, because I want everything working perfectly the way I want it, so as soon as SL is released, all it is add to group and then just get on with it, if you know what I mean. So that's the entire intention and or plan. Other than that, what else have I actually been doing? Well, along with TSM doing its actual thing and making a little bit of headway on the add-on, along with editing the spreadsheet and fixing a load of stuff, I've actually been working on a few more things. So towards the follow-up to Shadowlands, I'm going to be actually working on some other different parts of additional content when it comes towards that. So that's another thing that I will be putting forward in the future. Of course, it'll be up on the channel as and when, but it's just a take of prepping, just a case of like preparing myself in order to basically effectively get the job done. And that's basically what I've been doing, and that's pretty much what I've been doing. Just overall, just preparing myself for Shadowlands, content-wise, game-wise, gold making wise and all that stuff, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it has been a fairly busy week, but for obvious reasons I haven't done an awful lot of farming, and today I wanted to take a bit more of a light-hearted approach, just going over generally what I've actually been up to, and hopefully this is just a nice little update video, to be honest. Overall, I've had a pretty good week. I am definitely very tired at the moment, but I've still got a few more bits to do. If you are a Patreon sub for either silver or gold, the 5 Bullet Sunday will be posted within the next couple of hours. And overall, have an awesome rest of the day, guys, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.